Going on, everyone? Welcome to our 97th annual. I'm kidding. I don't know how many times we've done this so far, but we've done a ton of these. But this is going to be the first time we're doing one on circuit tracks, which will be super fun. And we are also blessed with the presence of Gabe from Gabe Miller Music, his YouTube channel. I'm not sure if you're ever checked it out. It's really good. It has a ton of stuff on the circuit tracks. And in case you're new around here and not familiar of what is exactly going on, Casey, myself, Cody, Evan, and John, we kind of pick a random sample pack and decide to just try and make a song as fast as we can in basically under 5 minutes.
Maybe not even a song. Maybe just a dope loop, dope groove.
No, full vocal, everything. Yeah, just like a simple loop to kind of get the idea going. And this time the sound pack was provided by Gabe. So we're super stoked to check this out. And I guess to go first, you want to do us off, Casey?
Yeah, I'll go first since I got switching duty. But before we do that, I'm in Miami. Rick, where are you?
I'm here in LA.
Cody, you're in?
Oh, I'm in Portland actually now.
Evan, you're?
Chicago.
John, where are you?
New York City.
Big Gabe, where are you located?
San Luis Obispo, California Central Coast.
Dude,
there we go.
Awesome.
So we're worldwide.
Yeah. Or US wide.
All right. So let's go ahead and I guess spotlight's on me, huh? All right. Let's switch that over. Let's see what we got here. So Gabe provided the pack. So, well, you know me and my 808. So that's staying. That's staying too. So let's go ahead and draw that in. Well, there's swing on here already, but it's cool. It can stay. Simple vibes for me. There you go.
Nice.
So hot like that. Yeah, that was actually really good.
All right. Who volunteers for next? We're going to have Gabe go last since it's his pack. Who wants next?
I'll go for it.
All right. So we've got Rick Martinez.
All right. Let's see. So I'll switch up here. I actually like that the 808 sound you have, but I just want to shorten it up. I'll do dun 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 dun. Nah. There it is. Cool. I'm fine for. I do this really typical pattern. And then I'll say pattern settings. I'll just do this. 15 steps. side chain. I'll just go, I'm going to divide the tempo down by 2 and I'll make this 2 bars. So basically I just made 4 bars out of 2 bars. Side chain it up. All right, I'll leave it at that. That'll be a decent one for now.
Well, that escalated
That was
quickly.
dope.
Yeah, nice, man. That was tight.
I was like, all right, I'm kind of feeling this one. Yeah.
Nicely done, Mr. Quinez. All right, who's on the hot seat next?
Yeah, who wants to go after that one?
I'll give it a whirl.
Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
Heavy hitter Johnny D
Yeah, every
stepping
time.
up to the
Every
plate.
time.
So, all right, John, you're in the hot seat. Let's see.
All right. Pressure's on now. Let's see. I think I'm gonna have a completely different vibe, but that's cool. So I'll give myself a little more time here.
Go to the
Overhead.
overhead.
There we go. Thanks, guys. Got too excited there. All right. So now you can see I was just extending these first 2 patterns, giving me a little more time. And I'm actually going to use the click track, the new click track, and play mine in here. Let's just give that a shot. Hopefully I won't regret that. I like that 808 too. But I'm going to put my claps here too. Actually, we'll go snare. Let's give it a shot. All right, it's on. All right, let's see what kind of melody stuff we got on here.
Every time.
So good.
Kind of a one-trick pony here. All right, here we go.
Uh-oh, he's getting complicated at times.
We'll use the decay to take that down a bit. There we go. Cool. Get one more part going here. There we go. Little effects. Maybe a little mutate. There
John, I gotta tell you, I'm getting kind of sick of you coming in with the hot heat all the time.
No,
For real.
Dude, Johnny podcast with the heat.
There it is.
He never misses, man. He
I
never.
know. He's batting 1,000. It's insane. I don't know. And all of a sudden, the thing about it is that he starts off like things are a little bit off time, and then all of a sudden they lock in, and this vibe just gets going, and it's wild.
Seriously,
But-
even if you go back and watch all the other circuit live streams that we did on the original circuit, every time John just comes in from left field with like the hottest thing.
Bro, it's like he puts his foot to the door and just goes wham, and stomps it.
Definitely.
John, actually, go back to your overhead. Did you do like some expanded sample view? I saw.
Oh,
you
I
playing,
I actually just played from the preset page like we used to have to do on the
I didn't
OG.
even know. I didn't even know you could. I didn't even know that page existed for the sample.
You know what? I didn't either.
Yeah, like, I
what
mean
the
that's how
hell?
we used to always have to do it, right?
The sample slip, yeah, but now it's the new version.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
because that 808 was a little off from my
yeah, that makes sense though. Yeah, so you just press preset in the drum pages. Huh?
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Really had no idea.
and you can do that on the synths too. I'm not sure if you'd want to, but I guess mostly makes sense on the sample
oh,
pages.
cool.
Nice.
So yeah, you can play from here.
Well done, Johnny. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
guys.
All right.
That's
Evan
fire.
Cody. Yeah, super
Thanks,
hot
Gabe.
fire. Who's next?
Nice pack, man.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Shit.
Evan.
Yeah.
Evan on the hot seat.
Yeah, let's do it.
Switch to
All
your
right.
overhead so we can see. There you go.
I gotcha. Okay. So I'm going to start a new project here, erase everything out. I'm in Chicago, so I'm obviously a big house head. So I'm going to go ahead and set my tempo to something around, 124, 125. And we'll add some swing in here. 56, 57 is usually a pretty good, like moderate kind of amount. Drum one, I like to keep as my kick drum usually. And so let's find a good kick drum in here. Gabe sent us a lot of these different samples, and there's a couple kick drums in here I was playing with earlier that I like quite a bit. So yeah, I think it was this one. We can filter it down a little bit, and then maybe add some distortion, just a little bit. Shorten that decay up, and then. We just do a 4 on the floor type thing. Change that up a little bit. And then I'm going to double my pattern here just by hitting this button, 1 through 16, 17 through 32. So we can go to our second page here. Drum 2. Let's find like a clap or a snare or something. I'm going to try not to use these chops because everybody else has used them already, but they are pretty cool. Let's put some reverb on our drums here. Maybe some delay. All right, now let's go to our synths. Oop, there we go. Now I'm going to try to write a bass line using the mutate function here. So I'm just going to go ahead and type in a bunch of random notes, and then I'm going to hit mutate and see if the circuit can come up with something cool for me. So I'm going to hit shift, mutate, and we're going to hear that the notes are going to change here. And I actually kind of like that, so I'm going to keep it there. Turn sidechain up a little bit. And then let's go to our second synth here. We can change that gate to make that note ring out a little bit more. And then we can duplicate that. Then let's do like a drum fill here.
Oh, you're going in it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is a vibe.
The best part of the thing that I love about Circuit is when things just go ahead and they start sounding super messy when you're first getting started, and then they just lock in, and all of a sudden there's a vibe and a sick groove going on, and it's great, man. Thank you, Evan. So next up is Cody, Mr. Standridge.
Hey, yeah, let's get it. All right, let's see what we got here. We'll go to drum 3. I'm gonna go to that preset mode.
Oh, by the way, while Cody's getting set up, you getting plenty of props for your step-by-step explanation where we all just blasted in and just let them.
All right, I know. Shortly after I was done, I was like, "Oh, was I supposed to explain what I was doing?" Because I was just like,
Yeah, you know how it goes. But good job, Evan. Go ahead, Cody.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, so this bass tone, I've just been playing with it so much. I really like it, so I'm gonna mess with that a little bit. Let's do that and cool. I'm gonna hit duplicate and then that step page button that doubles up our time, and that just takes what I had on the first 16 steps and doubles it up to 32, so I don't have to mess around with plug it in again. So we're gonna go.
Now you tell me.
Oh yeah, I love that one. That's my favorite trick. Okay, so we'll duplicate that over. I'm gonna go to the second one. Let's see where we're at here. The orange lets me on the back side. There we go. Cool. So give a little hit there, and then we'll just chain those two together. We'll go to drum 1. Let's get a kick going.
"Dude, I need to find a warehouse ASAP."
Oh yeah. I was like dude. That bass tone just been getting it.
Yeah, totally.
We'll just leave it weird like that. That's cool. All right. We'll double this Let me give myself a little more time. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Shift and effects, get to the side chain. Hey. See if there's something fun over here. I'm just gonna plug a bunch of different things in. Let's see how it goes.
Still waiting for the vocal sample to come out. The system is down.
Yeah, it's a strong Blade Runner vibe. I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that would be cool.
Nice.
Nice.
The delayed build was hot, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was tight in headphones
That's
for sure.
It's a tight little trick. All right.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
Nice work, Cody.
Oh,
Mr.
man.
Gabe Miller, our special guest, up next in the
that?
hot seat.
All right.
Yeah.
So just remember to switch to your overhead so we all got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the one dude rocking the upside down camera because OBS hates me. There's a reason it has BS in the title. That's okay. Okie dokes. So I cheated a little bit. I've prepared just by, let me get this closer. I pitched the same Model Cycles 808 around to get it to be a little lower. So now I'm gonna actually, so do a little step automation. So then have this be a little ahead of time. So I could go into micro steps, send that forward. So this clap is like 2 parts in one. So it's hitting ever so slightly early. Shorten that. Wonder if I need another kick here. Lock that in. That works for me. Let's get some hi-hats. Turn that down a little bit. Your hi-hats are always too loud. Get rid of the kick. One of my favorite things lately is using this specific ping-pongy delay and sending that to really fast hi-hats. Okay, that's working for me. What do I want to do with this then? Where are my basses? Okay, so I might have to pitch this around a bit. This will be annoying. Oh, that ain't working for me. I'll come back to that. Let's try this. Okay. Chain a few patterns together, so just go for it. So let's just keep those two. Send a bit of delay to that as well. So didn't want to get that first note. Sidechain U. Cool. And I got another synth track. Sorry, 1 second. Make sure no one's telling me that my signal is messed up. Okay.
Nah, you're solid. You're good.
Excellent. There's like a weird amount of low end in this patch that I'm not going to bother to get rid of right now. So, RIP headphone users, let's just sidechain it to hell and back. Let's just go for it. Okay, that's cool. Why is that not going? Because it's muted. That'll do it. Turn that down maybe a tad. And I've still got one more sample. So what do I actually want to do with do the granular pad thingy? Filter that. Push it in the background. Okay, I think I like where that's sitting.
Awesome.
So I think I'm going to call it there.
That was
Good
sick.
work.
That was
Switch
like
back to your head.
cyberpunk
Your head on
vibes.
cam, Gabe.
What's up?
Switch on to your switch back to your head.
Yeah, sorry, 1 second.
You know,
Yeah, I like what you did there with the step automation. That was cool.
Thanks.
Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so in the chat, it's music to be murdered by. Which, pretty fitting.
Yeah, this is your sci-fi horror
The
vibe
light
here.
Jason. Yeah.
Very cool. So, real quick, I got a request for us to go back through our beats real quick. So we'll start in order, and then after that, we'll chat a little bit more. So I'll go
Cool.
first.
Awesome.
Real simple, spaced out vibe for me. Ricky, what'd you have?
I had this here. One thing I always overlook is creating one 4-bar pattern in the track, because that always changes up everything, right? Because then it just goes from like a simple loop, like if this bass line wasn't here, it's just that. It's like, okay, that's cool. But then you throw in like some variation. But yeah, that was my little.
Say what you said. Your signal was a little hot, so say what
Oh,
you
my
said.
bad. I was just saying, I find it so helpful putting in like at least one 4-bar pattern, because like when the synth one, which is our bass line, was muted, it just sounds like a very basic loop, like over and over and over again. So as soon as I'm like, all right, let me just throw in one kind of thing that changes over 4 bars, then I was like, oh, this actually sounds like a decent track now.
It was decent to begin with, but whatever.
That was dope.
Who went next? I forget. Was it John?
Someone's about to eat.
Yeah.
Johnny's podcast. Johnny,
It was me.
Switch to your overhead again so we can take a quick look. Yeah, sweet. Let's give us a little taste of what you had for those who joined us late.
Alrighty. Make it go a little bit faster.
Yeah, see, there's that 4-bar pattern.
Yeah.
All right. We get it. We get it. You got the hop. We understand.
that.
We get it.
That
Started
bass
thinking
line's
about
kind
it.
of like West Coasty.
I was already starting to think about where I could go next. I forgot we were here.
Well, John, switch back to your overhead.
Here's
so
some
we can see.
bars on this.
Yeah, I know, right? And there was people in the chat going, "Yeah, who's gonna spit the hot fire over it?" And we're like, "I don't know, but someone should." All right, Evan, I think you were next. Switch to your overhead so we can see what you got cranking. Give us a little taste.
Yeah, I had something like this.
That bass line is my favorite.
A little fill. You got a little
Yeah.
exclamation point on it. Very nice. Thanks, Ev. Cody, you're up next. Switch back to your overhead so we can
Yeah.
see you. And Cody, you go to your.
Let's see.
There you go.
Where we at here? Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Berlin warehouse dungeon.
That delay is so trippy.
So good.
Yeah, the effects are fun to play with.
Tight work.
I love how these. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I was just telling Cody to go back to his overhead so we can see him.
Yep.
What were you gonna say? Gabe, was that you?
I was just gonna say, I love how these keep getting progressively darker and edgier, like over the course of the stream. I think that's great.
Now it's your turn to
Speaking of,
murder us one more time.
Yeah,
Crunch
damn.
up your face music, which is
Seriously, I can't help it.
nice
For real.
work.
Nice work, too.
Yeah, so for those of you that joined us, I'm gonna jump in a little bit, Rick, late, or have never seen one of these before. It's 5 of us, but special guest Gabe today, so 6. We take one pack and we throw it in circuit, and we all flip it in our own vibe and to see what we all come out with. We do that to show how flexible circuit is, how quick and how fun it is, and how dope you can get with it, whether you think what we came up with was dope or not, but whatever. Gabe, since you're our special guest, how are you feeling about circuit tracks right now?
I mean, I'm loving it. I think it was a foregone conclusion that I'd love it, but yeah, no, I really like it.
Away all the content you developed for it.
Yeah, I've made like albums worth of music with the original, and I'm well on my way with this at this point. So, yeah, I like the sleek design. We didn't even get into the bringing stuff in aspect where it becomes the Borg of your synthesizer setup and assimilates stuff into it. But that's kind of unlocked like my appreciation for some of the gear that I already have, because I'm like, how can I combine this stuff? And then, yeah, the little quality of life updates. Like, no, I really like it. Genuinely.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, well, clearly you're murdering stuff.
Gabe,
John,
Allegedly.
When
Go
you're,
ahead,
making
go ahead.
tracks, when you're making tracks with it and you go to like, do you just finish the whole track on circuit tracks, or do you take it into the DAW? And if you do you track it in one by one, or do you just record the stereo out?
Yeah, typically I'm just finishing it on the tracks itself, especially because like I like going out of my way to do the jams for YouTube, because like there's a music video just built in there.
Yeah,
so I'm like, why wouldn't I? And I like the challenge of trying to like get the most out of something with like only a few tracks. But then occasionally I've messed around with individually tracking stuff out. And yeah, I would love to see multi-track out at some point. That would be pretty cool.
As
it
would
would
I.
be. It would be. Who knows what we can come up with? Rick, what are you loving about circuit tracks?
It's so funny because it's one of those, like I said this about the first one, and this one is even more a Swiss Army knife, because it's just so easy to do anything. It's like, oh, I need to run this rack synthesizer. Let me just run the MIDI out of here, and I can just run the audio back in and just use headphones, because even before I would have to then take that rack unit, run it into an interface or plug my headphones into it. So, yeah, and I think kind of to touch on Gabe's point a bit as well, just the external inputs and then using all the effects on circuit, because like, you could sidechain the external inputs, and then you also have effects that you can apply to the external inputs. They're really fun to play and like mess around with, kind of like with what Cody was doing. Yeah, that's been, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, that's cool. External inputs, sure, whatever. And then I started using it more. I was like, oh, I think I get it. And I think I really like it.
Very cool. For me, I'll jump in real quick. I think the 1 through 16 and 17 to 32 is super clutch.
Yeah, step page.
To get longer sequences and then scenes as well, even though none of us touch those.
All right.
but to actually start fleshing things out and chaining things together and have like a song structure happen is a huge inclusion on this version for myself personally. Ev, what do you think?
Yeah, I think my favorite part is the rechargeable battery now, because that's always been my favorite thing about the circuit is that it's portable. So there are a lot of days where I'm not feeling particularly like creative. I don't want to open up my DAW, but having something like the circuit allows you to kind of exercise that muscle, your creative muscle. So I'll just be sitting on the couch like watching a hockey game, and then during intermissions I'll bust out the circuit, have my headphones on, and just come up with stuff. And it's easy to crank out like a bunch of different ideas, especially if you're just like lounging around the house. And eventually you're going to come up with something that'll stick. And then when you're ready to like develop that idea further, you can hook this up to your DAW, record the MIDI out that way, or use the sequencer in here to control your other synths in your studio. It's just a very versatile Swiss Army knife, like Enrique said. But I love the fact that it's portable. That's why I use the circuit.
Yeah. Hockey, you're still Midwest.
What?
I said hockey, you're still Midwest.
Whatever.
Hockey.
I'll give hockey some love over here.
Yeah, thanks, John.
I'm just kidding. Hockey's awesome.
Let's go Sharks.
But it would be you that mentioned hockey. So, John, what is your favorite feature of circuit tracks?
Well, I was going to mention what you said with the 32 steps patterns. That's huge for me because I feel like I, on the previous circuit, was just always tying at least two together at once. So it's nice not to have to do that. Just the sample flipping, even though I was playing things in this time, having a page for each drum, I'm really digging that as well, being able to just do your sample flipping that way. And then the click track, as silly as it sounds, like, again, something I always would have to do is program some hi-hats, and now you can just get right into it with the click. So a lot of little things, actually, but that's kind of what's cool about tracks is we took a lot of that little feedback that we've been getting over the years and put it into play. So, yeah.
Yeah, those are the metronome is a big one. Super clutch. Cody, what is your favorite thing on tracks?
Yeah, totally. I mean, like Ricky was saying with the audio inputs, like they're super great for all the little modules and things because I feel like I have so many little modules I wasn't using that I can now use with tracks that were kind of just sitting around. So that's a big one. And then the SD slot was another big one because I remember OG Circuit, like before you could upload samples on it and like you had to use it with like Ableton to get random samples, and now you can just load all of the stuff onto it now. And then I can have my drum module going in through an input, so I don't even have to necessarily put drums on it. That's a big update for me. So that way I can just drum module, run it into an input, samples on here. It gives me so much more space. The SD slot was huge.
Speaking of samples, Ricky, why don't you tell us about the sample time?
That's the other big thing too. Actually, really quick, Cody, it's so funny that you mentioned that too, because when I was uploading the Gabe's pack onto here, I was like, oh, let me back up my current pack and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, wait, I have the 32 packs. So this one's Gabe's pack, and then that one's my original pack. And I have all my original samples and then all of Gabe's samples here. I was like, oh, sweet. I don't have to go back to the computer at all after this. But Casey, what you're talking about with the sample time, didn't know I could press preset. So across all of these, which is 64 sample slots, you now have 3 minutes worth of sample time instead of the usual 60 seconds. So you used to have 1 minute. Now you have a little over 3 minutes. I want to say it's like 3 minutes and 14 seconds or 3 minutes and something seconds.
Something like that.
But it's plenty more than enough, especially when it comes to like simple one shots and drums. That's when it allows you to kind of get those cool, random longer chopped up samples or a synth stab or kind of like the granular one that you put on here, Gabe. And also another thing, not to let this run on too long, but Evan, how you're talking about like, oh, I'll take this on the couch and kind of come up with a pattern. One of my favorite things here is like if I've come up with a dope pattern like this one, synth 2 pattern 1, and then later on I want to go and plug this into my hardware, you can have synth 2 run to any MIDI channel, or the other thing is you can actually duplicate synth 2's pattern onto another track. So if you have like MIDI 2 plugged into some other synthesizer, but you like the pattern here, just like boop, boop, and then now you're plugged into that and you can like layer them together and stuff. So that's always really cool.
Super easy. Nice.
So I'm scrolling through here because we've completely ignored the chat because we've been blabbing So let's see if you got any questions in here that I can answer. And, my team can go ahead and scroll through the chat too and pull some stuff out. I saw a question about chromatically playing samples across the keyboard. You cannot do that on circuit tracks, but stay tuned on.
Yeah, stop right there.
So, I don't want to, that's as much as we're going to say about that. My two suggestions: sample start parameter for drum tracks and semitone pitch shifting with shift plus pitch shift. Interesting feedback.
Yeah, I've seen the second thing floating around quite a bit. That'd be dope. I'm not an electrical engineer or programmer, but
yeah,
that seems dope.
Yeah,
I do use the calc trick occasionally for going to like a different window. So you can audition the pitch if you're trying to like program a melody with samples.
Yeah, so like you mean on velocity? Like velocity, you can do that.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what Gabe's saying is, so if you wanted to audition what the sample sounds like, without actually having to be on the notes programming page, you can go to like a page like velocity and pitch there, and tune it from there, which is super useful. Let's see what else is in here. Actually, I think we'll just let it go here. We've been going on longer than we were supposed to.
I know. That's the thing. And even if you're watching this after the fact, if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, leave them in the comment section down below, and we'll get to them after the feed has been played.
What else can we plug while we're here, Enrique? Cats, make sure you are following our IG channel. We are Novation, because Mr. Enrique Martinez is always on there dropping science on not just circuit stuff, but anything Novation. So make sure that you're checking those out. Our Instagram TV also has all that stuff cataloged as well when he goes a little bit longer, a little bit deeper. So make sure you are checking those out. What else do we have? Circuit Owners Group. Thank you, mysterious person on my computer telling me what to say. So on Facebook, so you can check out our Circuit Owners Group for all sorts of cool tips and tricks and fun stuff.
That Circuit Owners Group comes in clutch, because if you have any question, you'll get an answer in like a second or two.
What else? Oh, we'll have more circuit jams coming up in the near future. Stay tuned. You'll see them posted on our social media. You'll see a coming soon holding place on YouTube, so you'll know when they're coming up. Let's see. Final stuff in the chat if there's anything in there. I see a lot of people talking to each other, which is cool. What makes Novation pretty cool with the community, people chatting and coming along and supporting and doing all sorts of cool stuff. Any final stuff from any of you all besides thank you all for coming. And I don't know how I ended up hosting this. It's just supposed to be you, Rick.
Yeah, I know.
I just kind of took over. My bad. Gabe, thank you. Thanks a million for joining us and showing up and providing us with a really, really, really sick pack to have some fun with. While you're here, why don't you go ahead and plug all your stuff?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me. This was super fun. YouTube.com/Gabe Miller Music is the go-to place. I've got a ton of circuit stuff, Grooveboxes, synths, a bit of DAW stuff, all in there. So there's both advanced and beginner stuff, if you're interested. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for having me. This was fun.
Yeah, no, man, it was super cool. We'll definitely have to bring you more deeply into the fold, because we enjoyed having you, and the pack was tight. Side note, there's some requests for the pack in the chat, so that's up to you whether or not you want to make that available, but that's for you. So there, you think about it like this. Go,
I mean, is it okay if I make a quick plug?
Sure, of course. That's because
I don't want to hijack this, but so the sample chop I can't release because that's like something on Splice, so I don't have the rights to that to distribute it, but we can use it here. But I do have a $5 just one-shot sample pack with pretty much all of like the kicks, snares, a bunch of the bass and synth one-shots. Those are all on there. So yeah, once again, that's on my channel as well.
These kicks were tight. A lot of
Thanks.
These kicks were really, really good. Yeah.
I'm an 808 guy, so That's
Yeah.
what I heard first, and I went directly with that. Sweet. Thank you, Gabe, again. Thank you, my team, and Enrique Martinez, Mr. Novation. It's been fun, and we'll see you soon. Same time, same place. Coming soon. Bye, everyone.
Later,
Thanks,
y'all.
everybody.